Okay, hello everyone, so welcome to a Friday. As you know, normally I don't work on Friday, but if I do have time, I do put a video on, and it's one of those Fridays, so let's get started. Okay, now I've got gold in front of me. It's Friday. As you know, Thursday was a swing day. I said you could go down. These were the hours. It went down, and I also said if it comes down, you can go up too into the trading hours. In fact, I did a video for YouTube trading problems, and the first of a mini series, and I actually mentioned it there. The price was here when I said so. I said, look, if you sold here, this is where you cover the trade. You can put your stop forward. This is where you have to be obviously very, very careful, because I said two things can happen here. This is a PST level, so the market can either go up to sell or it can come down to buy. So knowing those were obviously gold for us, because it came exactly down into the weekly pivot. Okay, 3072, if you take a look, it's on somewhere. I think it was on one of these. Okay, LCL one, I think this one, it should be 3072 for yesterday. Okay, that's 76. Yeah, that one there. On the weekly, 3072, that's 76. So that was a good buy kiss zone, and just slightly below it was the weekly pivot, as you can see. So the market did it nice and easy and just bounced off. But you guys already know about the weekly pivot, so no need to talk about that too much. What can possibly happen? We can keep pushing down. How far we can keep pushing down? On the weekly, I'm not sure, I don't think it's going to go all the way down into that 3013, okay, or 3014. Let's put it on there, because if the market does go down, we want to know how far we're going. 3014 is going to be here, and this will be an okay place to buy actually, because a weekly PST level, if it comes here obviously. Let's just go back a little bit, tighten this up to see if 3014 is, yeah, there you go. See, this is where the market picked up before. Okay, so coming back down, if they keep selling it, is fine. And Thursday being a swing day, as you can see, that already gave us a heads up that we're looking for reversal. Okay, and the market sold off in Asia. If it was a bit too early for you in the morning, then, you know, lunchtime, and obviously this is New York session here, but this would have been a little bit in the middle somewhere. So now I'm going to get rid of these two. Okay, so let's get rid of them. And what we're left with here, and let's just do a refresh, okay, is that if we want to go back down again, if we come back up into this zone, there's a bit of a gap there, mind you, they might have closed it with this. So selling on these levels are okay. Okay, this is one level you can sell at. So the market's gone down. Now we're in a sideways move, and we can slip it down. Now remember, next week you can take a look on the members web page to see where the next swing days are. Okay, so two things can happen then. If we're up here, we can sell down. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this too now, because that's already done. So the two things can happen here. Trading hours, if you want to sell, you can sell, okay, from the highs and from these levels with a tight stop loss. Obviously the trend is still on the bigger time frame up. Now the good hours to trade today is going to be that 4:35 to 5:25 is good, and also 10 past 3 is good in the afternoon. My afternoon, obviously that's New York morning session, is going to be okay. So 10 past 3 my time, which is already on there, and that 4:35 to 5:25. Now the market is going to be a bit rough. Okay, we might get sudden moves. You really need to be careful. We might get some sudden moves, especially coming towards 8 o'clock and forward. And I think it's a little tricky and dangerous. There's just too much stuff happening, and they're happening with the big guns. All right, big boys and bad boys too. All right, I don't see any girls involved in there, because the aspects are just like pretty harsh among those. So it could be like pretty disruptive. Okay, and if you know, if it is disruptive, it can like really make sudden movements. Okay, so this could really, if the market is going to go down, it could really kind of like push us down somewhere by the end of the night, okay? Or if they're going to like pump it up, they'll take it somewhere pumped up like here and make that a target. So you really need to be careful when you're trading. Like I said, if you're going to trade, do it at those hours. This 8:05 was not a bad spot. Okay, 8 o'clock was not a bad spot. Let me just check 9:55. Well, 9:55 is there. It's fair enough. So yeah, so this could keep pushing down. Okay, it's not a bad place for the market to change and to push down. And also the Asia session, if you know what I'm doing, if you took the timing course, that 4 o'clock here is not a bad spot either, where the market changed, okay? Because that was a sexy place to kind of like trade, and then the market becoming unsexy and then just like turning over, okay? So this zone seems to be a place that can hold. So selling downwards, cover the trade, possibly going into there as well. According to the monthly, that gap is there. On the monthly, 73 is 2,972. If you take a look here, the high of that is about 2,955. So we could have the market dip down a little bit, okay, into that 2,950 zone. That could also obviously happen kind of like next week as well. But this is a zone which you should look out for as well, okay? Let's take a look at the euro dollar. This is the euro dollar. There you go. That's your tap in. Okay, so we talked about this tap in there and then sell off. Now Friday is a swing day, isn't it? Yes, Monday. That's your Monday. So Monday we sold off. Wednesday broke out. So I said we've got targets up there. Remember, this level is a level I put up here ages ago, right? It's been like there for like many days, and I did say this would be an ultimate target to go to. Okay, now a reversal from here is not a bad idea. Where to? In fact, it wouldn't be a bad idea if it came all the way back into this zone now. All right, why? Because now we've got a sideways kind of motion. Now the market can still head up a little bit and sell off from here, but Friday, as you know, is a swing day. And if it's a swing day, selling is obviously on the cards for you, from the highs especially. And this is 8 o'clock, isn't it? We had 5 minutes past 8, so that's your 8 o'clock there. All right. Now what to do with this? If we come back up again, obviously you want to be selling again. Okay, so if we come back up, there's a slight gap there which I think they've closed off, and they've, as you can see there, all right, that's that. Now look, this is a good case study. This is the trading hour, and there's a slight gap over there, right? So despite the fact that this is the trading hour, they've closed the gap and then fallen off. I've made a note on this event, these things happening in the video as well, trading problems part 1. So you can watch it and it'll give you a good idea. All right, so pull-ups can like bring us down, and we should come, like the market should push into down here. Okay, now I'm not saying it's going to push it all in one day, all right, but that zone is obviously a sell zone. We should come back at least into this 1.093020 zone, and look here, it's done it on the daily. There you go. All right, it's very precise, as you can see, right? PST, it's an LCL1 1.0975. If you're using PST, you can see the name of the line. You see LCL1 1.0975, and the market came into 1.09. Let's see, 75. Wow, look at that. It's pretty much on the dot. Wow. Okay, so that's, you can see there 1.0975 is spot on, right? And this is where they're buying. Now, is this a trading hour? Accordingly, if you take a look at your Friday hours, I've got 10 here, and 10 is there. So I don't have a trading hour here. So this is where the market fell again from the highs. Okay, remember Friday is a swing day and we are up. So what we're looking for is to sell. All right, so we're not doing anything out of the ordinary. All right. So if you want to sell again from the highs, you can. So like I said, that could be 10 past 3, 4:35 to 5:25 is also on the cards. But you know, New York is going to be tricky and hectic. Okay, so be mindful. Actually, New York can bring us to a level which for next week can be a good turnaround level. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's take a look at SP 500. So SP 500, as you know, we had swing days, Tuesday and Thursday. So that's Tuesday, Thursday. I did say you can go long on Monday because of Dow Jones and Nasdaq. If you did, well done. Wednesday was a swing day for Nasdaq. I gave you the PST hours, as you can see. You know, that was a different PST line. It was coming from here, but nevertheless, you know what I mean, it kind of like went to the price level. I've actually made a note on that as well, and the market is now down, as you can see. If you sold yesterday, these were the hours which I did say you can sell if the market comes up, sell off, and that's what really happened. Now this was, let's just refresh this because there we go. Now this is London pre-trading. London, this is New York pre-trade session. So if you take a look, New York is selling. Okay, so they took it up to sell off. London is selling. So London started to sell off. New York followed through. So, you know, this is okay to sell. If you're doing technical analysis, watch that. If you don't know technical analysis, go to stan.store/GlobalTrader.Club. In that mini course I did, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Market dips down, okay, and it's breaking that structure. Okay, it's just breaking that swing, let's say here. This is a small time frame. You see how the market is closing underneath it. This is in the same day, okay? And then market goes up right into a trading hour, okay? Where is it? This is the place where they sold off to make a break, and it goes up and just comes and sizzles down, okay? So if you don't know technical analysis, you can take that mini course if you want, and that's just giving us, you know, the guidelines. So when we have a time and price match, then obviously you're going to be more equipped. If you also took my trading program, you would have also said, well, wait a minute, that's a good buy kiss at a trading hour, sell it off. Okay, so these kind of little techniques will help you along the way. Also, if you took that trading program, you would have said, wait a minute, these are top. Is it matching a trade hour? Yes, it is. Okay, look, it comes to the top. It's a good buy kiss and a resistance at a trading hour. If you sell here, your stop loss is going to be above the high of that New York session, just there. Okay, as you can see, it's going all the way into the closing there, into that zone. And also Thursday, I had that 10.15 there. So if you waited for that, you would have been pretty much okay. So what to do with SP 500 today? Like I said, today is going to be a bit of a tricky day, especially in the US. Okay, if this kind of like pushes down, which it looks like it could do, because it's a violent day today. Okay, it is a violent day today, and there you go. We're coming into those PST levels, which I talked about. Okay, 5,309, 5,334, 5,216, and just pushing into there. So big fish eat little fish. If the market comes down and you want to sell again, you can. The daily pivot's looking okay. Slightly higher above that, maybe this zone here might also do the trick. Okay, so the daily pivot in this zone can also do that at the trading hours. All right, so if you want to keep pushing down, I think that's the way to go. Let's take a look at Dow Jones. Now with the indices, obviously, what's going to happen is they're all going downwards, which is fine, not a problem. And with the Dow Jones, we had Monday, Thursday, or Friday. Okay, now this is interesting because we've got Friday swing day for Dow Jones and Nasdaq, right? So we might find ourselves somewhere low where the market next week will decide to push up. Okay, so is that a way? Oh, there you go. So the market is already in there on the daily. Let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, look. Okay, so we're probably going to come down, dip down a little bit more, and then see how this thing goes, because this HCL1 line, right, this red line, is 39,857. So 39,857. Just going to see how the market sold off those levels, and this is 39,857. So it's already done quite a bit of it. Okay, so there you can, whoopsie daisy. All right, so just a bit there off the monthly, but we can say because it's the monthly, it's like pretty close. On the price, we still have levels. On the weekly, we have a breakout, as you can see, right off the line. This is like beautiful, just selling off and selling off. All right, Wednesday, Thursday. Now on this one, Thursday, Friday, big day off. So there you go. Wednesday was also sell-off day according to Nasdaq, and I did give the prices for these. So basically, it's just we can still fall off. Now, what I'd like to see is this: if the market is down in the trading hours, obviously don't sell. Why? Because Friday is a swing day, right? So we want to be looking for a place where the market is going to stop. Why is it a bit tricky? Because might have a little bit more room to come down to. Okay, on the monthly for sure. On the weekly, it's like breaking down. Okay, so it's telling us, listen, we've got room to come down. And on the daily as well, we've done that first price thing. So let me tighten this up and let's take a look at the past. That's a long wick there with gaps there. All right, so at the end of the day, this long wick is going to be important for us, remember, from the coaching. And this is going to be important, remember, and see the gap. Okay, so I suspect we're going to come lower actually, okay, because of that. So pushing us further down is okay, but it might take a pause like this one, right? Remember last week went up a few days and then sold off. So we might have a few days of a pause, like kind of going up and then selling off again, and it's going nice and easy downwards. And if we tighten this up a little bit more, as you can see, we should really be coming down. Okay, how far down? Crikey, that would be shocking. So I'm just going to put this here as well, okay, and this is a zone which is good to buy, and that's all the way in 34,000 to 32,000. Okay, it's a bit out there, but I've already marked this zone in, and there's a gap there, so slightly lower maybe the option. We'll see how things pan out. In the interim though, be mindful, it is a swing day. The market may pick up a little bit from here, so trade wisely. Like I said, I've got a violent day ahead of me coming towards the New York session, so be mindful that from 525 onwards, then going into the later hours of the trading session, it's going to get violent. Okay, so be mindful. Nasdaq, let's take a look as well. Okay, so you see that's a big fall there. Okay, so the market will kind of like want to take a bit of a breather as well. Look, same with Nasdaq, beautiful fall. Okay, and we've got room to come down. You see how far this is, this has got potential to come all the way in there and possibly in here. And look at all these gaps here. Okay, it's on the monthly, but we could find ourselves all the way back down here, which will be great. Okay, so we can just follow that down. Now if you want to buy, because it is a swing day, okay, for Dow Jones and Nasdaq, it's a swing day. If you want to buy, then we're going to have to do a daily zone like here. Okay, so this is good, it's right in our zone, all right, and this is exactly where they bought. So this is not a bad day for the indices to kind of go up, okay, which means this, okay, we have to be smart about this. Like I said, if in the New York session we are down in this zone, so we're going to be in this zone, right, from the daily pivot to here, all right, this is going to be our zone. If we're in this zone, or if we've done a little like stop sweep or whatever, and you want to go up with it, it's doable, okay, it's doable, because it's a swing day and we are right in there. It's not a bad place to buy at all. Okay, now how are we going to look out for this? Well, you have to look out for a target, obviously 34. Okay, that's a good buy kiss. That's an 18692, 18692, which is not far off. 18, yeah, see, that's the zone there. Okay, so this zone has to break out, otherwise you're going to be in trouble if you buy and then get stuck in there. You can do it with a tight small loss, okay, but you see this is a runner, okay, and it's going to run, so we have to be mindful. Okay, if you want to buy here on a swing day, on a Friday, not my cup of tea, but if it's yours, you can do it with a tight small loss, a small stop loss, and 805. What a whopper. This is your 805, exactly there. All right, so if you want to follow this through even to the upside, if it breaks above this, comes back into a trading hour, and you want to go against the market up, you can target the weekly pivot. Okay, but you must also make sure you're covering your trade. Don't just look at it like I don't know, just don't just look at it, stare at it. Make sure you got levels to manage the trade, where you're going to come into. Okay, so yeah, with the indices, same thing with SP 500. We have a big dip down. Now the market can want to buy. Okay, so if we go up, goodbye, kiss it at a trading hour. You want to go with it, do it. Definitely use a stop loss, because like I said, tricky day. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So this kind of a setup you can do with all the indices. Okay, it's a bit against the grain, and it's Friday, which I don't do anything on unless there's something juicy, but this is, like I said, it's not a great day, okay, because it's a bit tricky. Now Bitcoin, we've got Friday, all right, Friday and Saturday being swing days, so not a bad thing happening here. All right, so let's take a look. Now look, okay, not a bad thing, it's a bit tricky. Okay, like I said, it's a bit tricky. Descending triangle we've got here. Okay, so let me just do this. Let me get rid of this. Let's get rid of all the redundant stuff. The trend is still down. This is a descending triangle, and if we get squeezed and it breaks down, this is the level we want to come to. So I'm still okay to sell. Okay, yeah, but this is causing me grief all week. Okay, since last week, so we have to be careful. What should you do if you're keen on trading Bitcoin? Okay, it's not a swing, it is a swing day today. All right, so this is what I put on a 4-hour chart the other day, I guess. There you go. All right, goodbye kiss right on there. Okay, now going up, and now what? I have no idea. Okay, so we can get back into the level where they sold off before. This is now a sideways market. I can take this off for you so you can see better. You see the high and the low. This is the mid zone. This is a place we don't like to trade. So what you can do is, if it comes down into a trading hour, then that's it. If it goes up into Friday, Saturday, then Saturday included, and you got to be watching out for it. to look for a reversal. Okay, and that's basically all I can say. Okay, because this is a good push up, but sudden pushes down and sudden pushes up can also cause reversal, as you know. Alright, so that's how it is. So with Bitcoin, I'd say don't trade in the middle of nowhere. You know what I always say, trade the edges. Okay, so if you want to trade it, turn on your one day chart, your daily chart. You want to sell the edges at the highs. Okay, if you want to buy the lows at the things here, and be careful for the evening session. I don't have anything for Saturday, as you guys know, until we get the software finalized. You know, weekends, I don't calculate them, so we'll see how things pan out. Have a great weekend. Any dramas, questions, just reach out to me, and I'll try to help you guys out as best I can.